going on, everybody? Today I'm once again joined by the one, the only Rashad from Rashad G Reviews to discuss yet another Rocky film, but this time it's the third one, Rocky 3. This is like Rashad's most favorite movie ever. Truth be told, I was also gearing up to see it for one specific reason. Eye of the Tiger, y'all. Let's get cracking. It's pride cometh before a fall for Rocky 3. As for the last few years, Rocky has bulked up and basically won every single fight that he's ever encountered. He essentially thinks that he's invincible, but an angry face watches from a distance. That face, of course, belongs to Clubber Lang, played by he who pities foos, Mr. T, who plans to take Rocky down and steal the heavyweight champion title for himself. The only person that can potentially help Rocky secure a win is an old foe, Apollo Creed, who decides to train old Rock this time around. First and foremost, gotta give Rashad a huge shout out and thanks for joining me to discuss this movie. We'll be hearing what he has to say about Rocky 3 in just a hot second! But first, what are my overall thoughts on this film? I think as a general rule, I like it a lot. As soon as the film basically opened up on that Eye of the Tiger theme song, I was like, yes, 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 this is what it's all about. This is what I was waiting for, and honest to God, that song alone can do wonders getting you pumped up and ready for whatever's to come next. I also think in general, Rocky 3 would have worked extremely well as a final film for the franchise. We all know that that's not quite the case, but the way that it ends it's beautiful. It wraps everything up nicely. Rocky's renewed with a new sense of what pride can do to somebody. He has a friendship now with Apollo. He proved once again that his heart is both his biggest strength and biggest weakness at the same time. I think Mr. T also did a pretty darn good job as a beast of a character that for whatever reason just hates Rocky. I was convinced that he had all of this rage truly flowing throughout his veins, and I laughed out loud when he said the line, "I pity the fool." If I didn't already know who Mr. T was when I saw this film for the first time, I probably would have been absolutely terrified of him as a character and even maybe had nightmares of him based off of his performance, because he really is truly a scary guy that's capable of giving people heart attacks. I can't always take him seriously because it is Mr. T. But hey, here, he did a great job. Before I go on with some of my negatives for Rocky 3, let's go ahead and hear what Rashad had to say about it. Take it away, man.
All right, the time has come. Every time I get asked to talk about Rocky, this is the one I most look forward to. As much as I love all the movies, man, I can't wait to talk about this one. This is not only the best Rocky movie, but this is my all-time personal favorite film. Yes, I can hear some people now like, what? You put this over, like Citizen Kane, over Jaws, over Star Wars, over, yes, like, that's just me. I love this movie. I can watch this movie over and over again. I can recite it verbatim. So here we go, Rocky 3. And I'm going to try not to be long-winded this time. I was long-winded last time because I'm pretty sure you have a lot to say about it, Dave. But thank you, bro, for inviting me. So now, Rocky 3. Okay, now you ask, why is it your favorite Rocky movie? Because, Rocky is, of course, the underdog story. A club fighter that came from nothing, got a chance to fight the heavyweight champion of the world, went the distance. Got Adrian, who is his backbone, and the whole love story between them is the backbone of this series. I understand all that, but to me, Rocky 3 really stands out because, okay, now you go from this club fighter, now you win the championship. Okay, what happens now? You have 10 title defenses, you're on top of the world, you're making all the money that you can, your marriage is perfect, you have a perfect kid, everything is just going good for you, right? And then here comes a cyclone called Clubber Lang. An up-and-coming challenger who, like Rocky, cannot get a shot because Mickey is keeping him away from Rocky. So it's almost like Rocky, but in reverse. But the difference is Clubber Lang has a lot bigger mean streak than Rocky does. Okay, Rocky's a good-hearted person. He's a brute on the outside, but on the inside, he's a teddy bear. Rocky wouldn't hurt a fly unless you provoke him. Clubber Lang, on the other hand, Clubber Lang is like, I will destroy anybody that gets in my path. I'm just a human wrecking machine. I do not care. So Mickey keeps him from fighting Rocky until finally he confronts Rocky himself. Like, yo, you got your shot. I want mine. What's up? And Rocky's like, well, I beat everybody else. I could beat you too. But Mickey knows Rocky better than he knows himself, and Mickey knew that Rocky cannot handle Clubber. Mickey made sure he protected Rocky so he can live this lavish lifestyle that he wants to live. Like he's living his dream come true. And almost just like life, man, just like in life, when everything seems to be going your way, you get hit with some controversy, some obstacles, and it's like, damn, how do I overcome this? So Rocky, of course, gets knocked off his high horse. He loses the championship. Mickey dies, and it's like, damn, now who am I now? Now where do I go from here? I started from here, I went here, now I'm getting back knocked down. I'm back knocked down here again. So how do I handle this? And then comes an unlikely ally, Apollo Creed, who comes in and teaches Rocky to fight all over again, but teaches him this time how to fight like a real boxer. Jabbing, footwork, movement. That's the only way you're going to beat Clubber, because if you fight Clubber straight up toe-to-toe, he's too strong, he's too tough, you're not going to beat him. So I just gave you pretty much the whole movie right there, but that's why I love this movie, because it's all about how do you bounce back from a devastating defeat where you lose almost everything, except for the money. He still has the money, he still has the house, but he lost his manhood, he lost his trainer. He lost his pride. He's no longer the best fighter in the world. He finds out that his whole career was a scam because Mickey was protecting him from the real contenders that could really knock his block off. So I just love how he bounces back from that. It is told in under 2 hours. If this movie was made today, you need about 3 hours to tell this type of story, because most movies now are so fucking long. This movie was able to tell that effective story in 1 hour and 39 minutes. Fast paced, doesn't slow down. Even, when the movie does kind of come to where, okay, now Rocky has to do self-reflection, even in those moments, it still doesn't slow down, because you feel for Rocky and you just love to see the camaraderie between him and Apollo Creed, and then on top of that, you have the second fight, which to me is the most kick-ass fight of all of them, because most Rocky fights go to distance, this one goes 3 rounds. That's it. 3 rounds, but 3 rounds of some of the best boxing you ever seen, reminiscent of the real fight between Marvelous Marvin Hagler and Tommy Hitman Hearns. Look that fight up on YouTube. You're welcome. Only went 3 rounds, but man, some of the best action you've ever seen, especially that 3rd round of Rocky and Clubber just going toe-to-toe, banging, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I love this movie, and the way it ended, it has the most perfect ending with Rocky and Apollo circling each other, and then they come, boom, freeze, Eye of the Tiger. Not to mention Hulk Hogan's in this movie. What's not to like? Okay, okay, I gotta do this. I'm sorry, Dave, I gotta do this. Yeah, Clubber Lang, the most effective villain, okay? Because Clubber was the one that got under Rocky's skin. Clubber was the one that scared him, all right, and tried his woman. Come on. That whole scene where he calls out Adrian, hey woman, listen here. Since your old man ain't got no heart, maybe you like to see a real man. Yo, he had Rocky shook and mad at the same time, like the ultimate villain. Mr. T, his career took off from there, even though in the 80s he fizzled out, but still, Mr. T's Clubber Lang is one of the most memorable villains in all of cinema. Tell me I'm lying, Jack. So yeah, Dave, once again, thanks to you. Floor is yours. Take it away.
Thank you once again to Rashad for joining me to discuss this movie. I love how absolutely passionate you are about this franchise as a whole, but especially this 3rd film. Everybody watching, you can find a link to Rashad's channel in my description box below, so make sure that you go over there. Give him a subscription if you haven't already. Tell him who sent you. But yeah, this is definitely a solid installment. But I would actually say, thematically, I prefer the first 2 movies, and I'll try to explain why. For the most part, I really just wanted to see the movie for the Eye of the Tiger song, and that didn't disappoint. All 47 different times the song played in the movie, or at least it felt like that. Regardless, I was really into it. But what kind of fell flat for me was maybe the structure that was in the first 2 movies, but was kind of absent here. What I mean by that ultimately is that Rocky 1, Rocky 2, at least half of those movies weren't so much about fighting as they were about focusing on Rocky's life, his marriage, her pregnancy, etc. Seeing that throughout the films helped audiences fall in love with Rocky and want to root for him. And because there wasn't a ton of that in this movie, I didn't care as much as I have in the past. The death of Mickey certainly helped with Rocky's humanity, and I would say that was the strongest element of the film in order for you to actually care about his journey. But the film also had some weird character choices, I want to say. Just starting off with Rocky. He looks, sounds, and carries himself entirely differently than he has in the past. He doesn't even wear the same hat anymore. That was part of the look of Rocky, the hat. Instead, he has really beefed up since then. He's got muscles everywhere and a lot of confidence. I'm reminded of how bad he was in front of a camera, where he just stammered, having problems coming up with the right words when he was saying whatever, you know? He couldn't even read from a commercial script because he didn't have education. And I mean, it was just kind of this awkwardness that I loved. But it all seemed to be gone here. He's fine in front of a camera all of a sudden. He's doing commercials like a pro. He doesn't have the shuffling walk that he had in 1 and 2, but instead now he's standing up straight and walking like a normal person. It just didn't seem so much like I was watching the same character. Also, Mickey. I'm split down the line with him on this one because yes, he felt like Mickey, but the fact that he was picking easy challengers for Rocky after he got the title, I don't know. I get that he sees Rocky as kind of, you know, his own kid. He loves him and everything, but at the same time, I always saw Mickey as an honorable man that didn't back down from challenges, but instead lifted people up and inspired them to be greater. And that inspiration would be the thing that kept Rocky's title. The fact that he just kind of picked challengers that he knew Rocky would win against, that's cheating. It felt weird to me. So in general, while I did like the movie, I can't really say that I loved it, nor can I say it's better than the first two. But like I said, it is perfect as a franchise ender. With that being said, let's go ahead and look at my final score for Rocky 3, which was an A- letter grade, final overall score of 88%, 88 out of 100 possible stars. So again, an A- is hardly bad. Though, because I rated the first two an A+, it's still a dip, and I consider it to technically be the worst of the original trilogy. So sue me! With that being said, guys, again, make sure that you sub to Rashad's channel, and let me know in the comment section down below which of the Rocky films is your personal favorite. Is it the first, is it the second, or is it this one, Rocky 3? As for YouTube, you guys know what to do. Hit that like, subscribe button, and bell to be notified when I come out with my next Rocky review, which should be Rocky 4. And until then, peace out.